Hello, everybody. Buddy Web, Midland, Texas. Got a little video tonight I want to do for you. I think you'll find it real interesting. It might be impacting. This week is the week of the Permian Basin International Oil Show. That's what the PBIOS stands for, Permian Basin International Oil Show. And you can see some of their sponsors, and they hold it over in the Coliseum in Odessa. Odessa is about 20 miles from Midland. You know, Midland, Odessa is like sister cities. And we're sitting on top of the Permian Basin oil field, one of the biggest oil fields in the nation. And so this is a large convention. People from all over the world travel here for this convention that happens every other year. Okay, they skipped a year because of the COVID and all that, but anyway, this year this week it's going on. So I've been sitting here watching the news every night, you know, and Kmid has been doing a stories on it, and actually right here, Madelyn Bierster. Okay, and let's go look at Madelyn here. I didn't load. Let's see if it'll reload. I don't know. Maybe she might have blocked me. I don't know if it's blocked or not. But anyways, here this is email Tuesday, 6:41. And see, I saw her on the news at the oil show. And I said, I tweeted you a video about the murder of a girl at a 2010 oil show party. This is who I think that girl is. And I think this is a very solvable murder. Okay. And so, and I can go over to Twitter real quick. And I think it goes to profiles. Oil show party murder. See, I just did that here. Okay, and so you look, see, Bierster 20 TV. That was this anchor right there for Kmid, ABC Big 2 News. Okay, so that's who I'm talking to. This was an older video about the 2010 oil show party murder. Okay, so I just want to get you caught up. The Tuesday of this week, I seen Madelyn on the news at the oil show. So I tweeted out this older video about the oil show party murder, and you know, almost immediately she writes back, you should also reach out to police about this or Crime Stoppers. Okay, and so I said, oh, I have. There is a cover-up going on. This should have been national headline news a long time ago. The week of the 2010 oil show, Angie was leaving my home and at the party in 5 minutes. Look at what is in my backyard on Google Maps. So I send her a picture, okay? And you know, and that's always an impacting picture because you can do it on your phone, you do it on your computer. You just go look up my address, 3802 Fair Circle, look in my backyard, and all of a sudden Google Maps is showing a large bunker, and I got a long list of people documented saying underground homes are here. One person said put in for Vice President George H.W. Bush 1987 for $7.35 million, etc., etc., etc. Okay, lots of evidence on that. There is no doubt about that. There just can't be. And I went on and I put the second comment. I said multiple people are documented saying that underground homes are near my home. One woman said that she worked on the underground safe house project, was put in 87 at a cost of $7.35 million. Last year, I secretly recorded Sheriff candidate Joe Lozano telling me these underground homes was the hideout for the late Sheriff Painter. Okay, it's easy to see that is where that girl was murdered at, Madelyn. Okay, and I put a link to that video, Sheriff Painter's hideout, because see, I'm thinking, oh, you're an anchor for a news station, and I recorded a guy running for sheriff saying our last sheriff used to hang out in these secret underground homes where it's believed a little girl was murdered at an oil show party. You see the connection? I bet an anchor for a news station would want to know about that, right? You know, and I have the evidence. You know, I secretly recorded them. Well, then I get no reply. You know, I mean, it's like a black hole. Like, what are we doing? Are we covering this up or what? You know, covering up murders of children? What's going on here? You know, and so. And of course, this isn't the first reporter I've talked to. You know, this is one in a long, long line. I've been doing this for 10 years, and you know, and there's no doubt. I mean, I've contacted hundreds of reporters. You know, but this is a local anchor of a news station here that needs to be held accountable to the people. Wednesday of this night, And I wrote, Michael Sean Williams sent me a friend request, and I later saw that he died on the last day of the 2010 oil show, which is the week that Angie told me about the young girl being murdered for refusing to prostitute. I wondered if there was connection. And I sent her this link because she didn't reply, okay? And so I'm showing you here, this guy, Odessa, died in Odessa on the last day, and somebody took his name and picture, created a Facebook account, sent me a friend request. We had all these mutual friends. I bet somebody knows who it is. And I got a feeling that this guy's death, Michael Sean Williams, is connected to the murder of that little girl at the oil show party. I don't know that, but that's what I was wondering, right? I mean, there's a reason. There's something to follow up on. Okay. And one more, I said, I didn't know if you knew it or not, but I have a YouTube channel with almost 1 million views, and I'm thinking about making today's post about you stopping the underground parties where they rape and murder children with the help of corrupt police. As you saw in the video that I sent you, there's plenty of evidence to stop these killers. We only need someone to speak up. That little girl had nobody to turn to. Anything that you want me to say for you or KMID about this murder and the cover-up, okay? And, that's tried to be nice, right? That seemed nice right here. I spoke with Madelyn, Bierster, an anchor with KMID, about the young girl murdered at the underground oil show party. I got all kinds of evidence. We're talking about the murder of a little girl, right? I mean, the remains of a 14 to 21-year-old little girl was found outside of Madelyn. There's just a ton of people recorded saying their underground homes are here, and here is the surprise. Okay, this is the message I got from the anchor at KMID. This is their official request. No, I don't want to be included. Please take that down, exclamation mark. You see, that was today. Okay, how rude and hateful. And I'm a crippled crime victim trying to report murders, making our communities safer, And I said, well, obviously multiple people documented saying that a secret underground homes are here where it's believed a young girl was raped and murdered, along with supporting evidence such as Google Maps, then that it is true and it is newsworthy. I assume that you would want to be on the side of the citizens exposing these sick crimes. Are you asking me to post online that you don't want any part of this story? She says, I'm asking that you contact my boss from now on, not myself. And she blocked me. I kid you not. That happened today. I'm reporting the murder of a child, of a 14-year-old little girl, right, with all kinds of evidence to the anchor of KMID News in Midland, Texas. And as far as I'm concerned, all our news agencies have been working with our police, and it's organized crime, and it's involved in racketeering and this underground's probably human trafficking. It's definitely, obviously a murder, attempted murder, burglary by the tens of thousands, theft, lawlessness, just bold lawlessness. And what happens is that's my frustration, is that the police will not do anything, and the press won't tell the public that they're not doing anything. That's why I finally figured it out. They're working together. I mean, they can kill anybody they want. They can break into anybody's home and do anything they want, and there ain't nothing you can do about it because the press themselves are helping cover up the crimes. I don't know if they could be charged with accessory to these murders and capital murders, but I think somebody should if they're intentionally on purpose covering up the murder of a child. Also, they can protect some oil companies and their underground little sex parties. Yeah, they ought to go to prison for that, as far as I'm concerned. Here's the last homeowner in my home. Look how young he is, 27 years old. He died the week before the 2008 oil show started. Okay, and there's an underground home in the backyard. That's where they're having the oil show parties. That's where they murdered that little girl in 2010. I'm trying to tell the anchor about. Okay, and I'm showing here, this is Odessa American, one of our other news agencies here. They posted a death notice for him and said he died in Fort Worth, and 4 days later posted a second death notice, changed the location of death to say that he died here in Midland and at his residence, what it says at his residence, which was here in Midland, which was for sale at the time. I transferred into town and bought it the week after the oil show. And so unheard of, never happened before in the history of the world. That's really what's going on here. Never happened before in the history of the world. So they can rape and murder little kids in underground parties that has police there, and the press is helping them. That's what's going on, And so there's Mike Lawhon, dies the week before the 2008 oil show started. And then Angie tells me about the little girl murdered at the 2010 oil show party. Well, they smeared my name all over the world. More than 2 million views. Oh, he's crazy. He takes people in the attic. Well, now I've documented 50 other homeowners across America, reporting people in the attic. A dozen addresses in Midland, another dozen in Odessa. And guess what? Not a single news story. The press, that's what I'm saying. The press is working with organized crime and racketeering. It's burglary, theft, murder, human trafficking. Who knows what else? Rape, drugging, just everything. You name it. But the press is a party to it because one news story from the press showing the facts, and this would be over. And that's what I'm trying to just get the press to do their job. Here's Midland Crime Stoppers. 2013, they found the remains of a little 13-year-old black girl, 14 to 21-year-old black girl outside of Midland. Some people have wondered if, now that they did DNA and found out there's black, now they can just let that one go. And now it's okay, it's just a black girl they murdered, so they don't have to investigate it, especially when they have all this evidence. Google Maps showing bunkers underground. You can't see multiple people documented saying underground homes are here. One of them was running for sheriff. A secret police gang took 6 years and $2,000 reward to get identified. It is lawlessness, just absolute lawlessness. I'm shot by somebody under my home. I'm home minding my own business. They came to my home with guns, cut my phone line, shot me by surprise. These are cold-blooded killers, and that's in 2012. And what I found out 7 years later is police were under my home, and it was somebody under my home that shot me. It looks like that police they're trying to murder me in my home, and if that's the case, that means I highly suspect they murdered the guy that lived here before me, and I suspect they murdered that little girl. And I was told she wasn't the only one that was raped and murdered at those parties. So I got a feeling it's a whole bunch of other ones, And it's real easy to see on the map. You can go to Google Maps, pull this up right now. That's what I said. Just look it up, 3802 Fair Circle. There's my home right there, right? Here you could see where there was a ditch cut coming from the back of Home Depot to my home. That's where the people also party were going underground. They're coming back here in the backyard is one of the 4 underground homes, 3-bedroom, at least 25 foot deep, costing over $1 million a piece, finished 1987, put in for George H.W. Bush, vice president at the time. And here's where I showed Homeland Security in 2019 where I believe this human trafficking murder tunnel is. Probably DNA evidence from that murdered little black girl is in that tunnel. 2 weeks later, they poured concrete back there. That's what I've been living under, barely alive, literally, they tried to kill me, And I've been print screening people's, comments and any kind of evidence. These are just a few of them. This guy, one guy, Chris Reed writes, says, I remember hearing talk of these huge secret parties, When I first moved to Midland working for a multi-billion-dollar oil company, everybody that's lived down here has heard of those parties, okay? It's just absurdity to keep trying to ignore the fact that they murdered a little girl there. You murdered the last guy here before 2008 party, then you tried to murder me, and there's no telling how many more people's murdered. What we can be confident about is we have very extremely corrupt police that's helping all this work and an extremely corrupt press that helps it make worse. They have the blood of the innocent. One of them child predators, killers, goes on to hurt somebody else. They got that innocent blood on their hands because they stood around silent, letting these murders continue happening, one right after another, one homeowner after another. Jessica Hadley says, I've been to 2,000 of them show parties. She says, she isn't the only one that's raped and murdered. And then Tisha, she's the one that says, they're exactly what you say. She says, they are underground homes. I'm going, yeah, of course they are. And Victoria McKennedy's telling me about a friend of hers that was raped at one of the oil show parties. And I'm going to show you here. And, here I was back here behind Home Depot. My home's over here showing Homeland Security. Because Homeland Security is supposed to take care of human trafficking, okay? That's their job, This is your job. You got one job, take care of human trafficking, right? So I'm showing them where a human trafficking murder tunnel is at. And 2 weeks later, they're digging up the ground, pouring concrete to cover up the human trafficker murderers. And that way they go ahead and keep on raping and murdering little kids is basically what it comes down to. And I showed showed them this. Yeah, you could see it on Google Maps. You could see it today. 2 weeks after I got this on camera of them pouring concrete to cover up this human trafficking murder tunnel. Now keep in mind, DHS, the people that are supposed to stop human trafficking, right? And 2 weeks later, U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway retires, and come to find out his brother-in-law used to live across the street from my house. Okay, yeah, keep that in mind. Conaway from Madelyn. Let me show you a couple other things here before we close this out. This is what I posted in for on my post today about Madelyn. That was the anchor. And as I said, she's not the only one, but what is amazing is they just line them up one right after the other, sign right here if you want to help cover up the rape and murder of children, I mean, what are they doing? I mean, can't you find one anchor, one reporter that has an ounce of some kind of integrity or morals that it bothers them in some little bitty strange way off bit that it's wrong to murder children at underground oil show parties with police there? Yeah, wrong. Madelyn suggested I contact law enforcement about the forced prostitute murder of the girl, and that's what I showed you. You should reach out to the police or Crime Stoppers. I did. I did that before I contacted you. That's what I'm telling you. Before I even contacted the press, that's why I'm contacting the press, right? Don't you want to let the public know? Or if we keep it quiet, maybe they can rape and murder some more little children, right? Is that the thinking? Is that what we're thinking? As long as we don't say nothing, then nobody knows, and then rape and murder all they want, I guess, And here's another one. As far as I know, the KMID is the only news channel that reported the murder of this girl. And this is a 2013 news story right here. And I remember when I saw that and thought, there's the girl. For the longest time, I was telling people about a girl being murdered, and there wasn't no body. But all of a sudden, when I saw that, oh, there's a body. But, CBS 11, I didn't see them post that. I didn't see News Died post Midland Reporter Telegram. And I said, and this is recent, I suspect this gang has killed more than that one girl. And I was showing it was a black girl. This was the overview map, and shows this person said that, this person said that. This one here, this is the Sheriff Painter's, or actually Sheriff candidate Joe Lozano's recording, where he said Jerry Painter used to hide out in the underground homes. I secretly recorded a guy running for sheriff. I mean, that alone is standalone evidence enough to investigate the murder of a little girl, right? I mean, don't you think? Here's Jessica telling me more than one little girl. Here's Tisha is going, yes, it's right. They are underground homes, And then here's 2019. I showed Homeland, where I believe human trafficking murders on is they poured concrete. I think somebody at Homeland could be talked to, right? And it's easy to see why they want me to move, okay? And that was this little post of the many times, dude, you need to move. I only see two choices for you. You either move or you meet God earlier, and on and on. Here's another one. He says, I hear you be careful. Cops can kill people every day and get away with it. All they have to do is say they feared for their life, and that's all it takes. They can kill you and get away with it. Be careful. Don't make them mad. Sell them the house. Hell, they probably gave you a lot of money. If you get to stop publicizing their business, then you go buy you another home and be left alone, maybe. Okay, he's talking about the police, right? Why would the police want to buy my home, right? Well, is that because they raped and murdered a little girl at the underground home here, and Buddy won't shut up about it? Is that it? I mean, is that a fair question, right? Madelyn, and then that's what I read earlier. I don't know if you knew it or not. I have a YouTube channel, and I wanted her to see that I was posting about her, and I'm going to make this movie and post it. And and this is, it's time to choose sides. You either choose the side of those that rape and murder little children, and those that help them, like corrupt police that look the other way, tamper with evidence, lie in police reports, destroy the lives of innocent homeowners, right? Or you stand on the side of right, and you say, no, there is an underground home there, and somebody needs to be investigated, and somebody needs to be going to prison ASAP. Make our children safe. So as you see, that if we can, expose the underground homes, we can expose multiple murders and just all kinds of crimes here. And then my problem, is this press and the corrupt police. And so here's what happened. That was today. Okay, I'm going to show you some more stuff that I posted that's today. Okay, here about Michael Sean Williams. This today would be the last day of the whole show. It is the last day of the whole show. He died on the last day of the whole show in 2010, and that's when Angie told me about that young girl being murdered. And so I did a little post. I got videos about this guy. because somebody took his picture and his name right here from his obituary and created a Facebook and sent me a friends. And we had 6 mutual friends, local people that know who that is, because this ain't the real guy. The real guy is dead. But I got a feeling there's a reason that he took Michael Sean Williams' obituary, because Michael Sean Williams died on the last day of the whole show. And I wonder if it's not connected to the murder of that little girl. Okay. And then so I went ahead and wrote, and I said I contacted the widow, Timber, asking if she could verify if Michael was there during the Eden Zoll show. The parties were happening, but they happened to be separated that week. And then her basic attacks against me made me suspect that she knows something. This is the widow of Michael Sean Williams. Okay. So I contacted her, and here she's threatening to call the cops, file harassment on me, call me a dumbass. Here's more name calling. Here's her friend. Here's solo. Here, screenshot on that email. See the violence there. Nasty. Who's this? Ruby Marie girl. He's fucking nuts. See, I don't even know this person. Yeah. And here she's trying to cover up the murder of the capital attempted murder on my life right there, and then bringing my dad up. And that's one more people. There's so many people I can't even count. There was a group called Buddy Wayne Webb Haters or something. It was a haters and Facebook slander group, victims of Buddy Wayne Webb or something. And there was 100 people in there, and it's all because I'm trying to call for the rest of these killers are the ones rigging these homes and murdering innocent people inside their homes. People mind a home, minding your own business, and you could be dead. And we can go back and look and see where's the problem. Well, the problem is these corrupt police. There's the problem right here. The problem is the press won't call out the corrupt police. There's the other problem, and that means organized crime is in control. We have lost rule of law. Okay, here's another person told me Michael didn't kill himself. That's Michael Sean Williams. They thought for the longest time the wife staged it. That was Timber that got so rude to me, right? And I suspected maybe she knew something about the Mozo parties, And then more, she says, but Mike was going to leave his wife because he found out a bunch of stuff about her and it freaked him out. So that was, some of the stuff that I was hearing, on the other side of that. And then I was asking Timber here when I was talking to her, was he connected to the whole show or the whole show parties or anything? Because that's when he died, right? He worked for DNR, Don something, his owner's name. And I said, do they have a booth at Lowe's? Yes, they do have a booth. And, I said, were you there? Can you confirm where he was at during the Evening Zoll show? And that way we know he didn't murder that little girl. Oh, no, I can't. She can't confirm it because they were separated. We were fighting. He was staying in a trailer. So I think there's another clue into solving the murder. And see, they're all connected together, So, what I got is Facebook doing their hiding Facebook posts on me. You can always tell which ones. They hid these right here. Notice they wasn't there. I posted them, but Facebook doesn't want the public to see these. Cud's safety man, Carl, told Angie while I was standing there, I got mine last night. And she cowered in shame. This was the week of the 2010 old show party. That's the week she told me about the little girl that was murdered, I wonder if Carl got him some of that little girl that didn't want a prostitute. Angie would put me on hold at 11 o'clock each night while she went to get her pill. We were talking on the phone. They were drugging the women and the girls at the whole show parties, okay? And I believe there's some underground homes here. And then Donna Meadows asked Angie at work what time she got home from the whole show party, and she said about 3 o'clock. I think Donna knows too. I was standing there and heard Donna turn around and ask Angie, what time did you get home last night? About 3 o'clock. And so I believe Donna. I believe there's hundreds of people that know where these underground old show parties are, and that makes them all. They're either accessories or they're witnesses to the capital murder of that little girl. The interesting thing happened here today after my conversations with KMID anchor Seliger, Ken Seliger, and he's from Amarillo, but he is our politician here in Midland, Odessa. Amarillo Republican Kel Seliger, and I've got emails and messages to him that he never replied to because he is my congressman, right? This is his problem. And I saw him on the news tonight when he announced, he says, yeah, it's better that you step down when somebody isn't asking you to step down. And I when I shared it, I don't know if you've seen that. I said, I wonder if this is connected to the underground oil show party murders, because I got a feeling some very wealthy oil people that maybe or maybe not sponsor him, right? The money bags, they're the ones that don't want the public to find out that they're raping and murdering little girls that don't want to prostitute in underground oil show parties, because that's a lot of fun for them and they don't want to stop that. And, and they got all the bases covered. They got all the press helping them. They got the police helping them, and they're murdering one homeowner after another to keep it going. They don't want to stop it now. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. See you later, Cal.